Welcome to this presentation titled Why Use COBie Forms. I am Bill East, owner of Prairie Sky Consulting and the inventor of the COBie standard. In this video, you will learn how small changes to contract administration practice enable significant lien handover benefits. As I look around the world, it turns out that most owners and contractors have few, if any, construction contract administration standards. Everyone thinks they have the best way to do it, or they just go with the flow and take whatever is provided by any given team member. Here's one of the primary examples of the reason why current construction contract administration processes are completely broken. In this picture, the paper in those boxes costs tens of thousands of dollars to produce, and even then, the information is delivered too late to help the facility manager start operating their buildings. When the facility manager does open those boxes and they pull out the manuals, they put them up on the bookcase, just like this one. And the books are helpful until the first time the mechanic pulls the sheet that they need out of the binder and then doesn't replace it. After that, what's left in the binders really doesn't help anyone. So you say we live in an electronic age? Here's what happens when we deliver those paper boxes electronically. They transform from banker box formatted paper into shoebox formatted files. And the files are scans of faxes that you can't search or read. In paper or electronic version, the way we do it today is virtually useless to those operating the buildings. You only need to look around to prove this to yourself. Here's two pictures that I took recently. On the left is a consultant hired to manage the building because the facility manager didn't even have a room schedule available. On the right, we see how retagging equipment is needed anytime a new facility management contractor comes on board. My COBie development effort pointed me to a new approach, what I call lien handover. In this approach, the designer and contractor do their jobs as they always do, but they change one important thing. They change the format used to deliver the handover information. Let's see what I mean. Here are three commonly found construction administration deliverables: an installed equipment list, a maintenance schedule, and a filter list. Regardless of your project and contract admin staff and subcontractors regularly create such forms on every project. Whatever the format of those documents, their purpose is to help a facility manager answer three very simple questions. If we have a pump in a building, we want to have a name for that pump. The name shows up on the drawing schedule as Pump 3 or similar, and that's what we capture. To operate Pump 3, we need to know where it is in the building. In our example, Pump 3 is in room 105. That information is found on the drawing's pump schedule. Facility manager also needs to know how to operate and maintain that equipment. Here you see some of the kinds of documents provided to answer that question. When people ask me what is COBie, the most practical answer I give is information about Pump 3 in room 105. So what makes COBie so difficult? Well, the difficulty with COBie is that many people have not taken the time to understand what it really means. To help you find out where to start, here are three key documents that go together when thinking about COBie. The COBie standard is for computer programmers to understand the COBie data schema and compliance testing requirements. While many will find this interesting, it can be a pretty big document for someone without the right computer science skills. Of course, not everyone is a computer scientist, so there's other documents for other audience. For example, the COBie guide is written for owners and consultants to help owners get the information they need from COBie. The COBie specification tells contractors how to implement COBie. There are two basic requirements. The first is that contractors deliver a full set of COBie data anytime drawings are delivered. And the second is that contractors must use COBie formatted submittals to capture COBie data during the contract administration process. So let's take a minute and go back to the start of the presentation. You know that today virtually every project works through their contract administration process in an ad hoc way. Rather than make everyone who needs to use COBie go and recollect the information, the COBie specification aligns the contract administration process to deliver COBie as the project proceeds. This way, as-built COBie data is available to the whole team in real time. As an example, let's look at each of these steps in the process with respect to Pump 5. When a manufacturer and model number of the pump is identified, that information along with relevant certificates and product data brochures is prepared. This information can be captured within a COBie form. When Pump 5 is installed, the installer captures the serial number and photograph of a nameplate. If this information is saved in a COBie form using a phone or computer, then the contractor needs never to conduct another job site survey. When Pump 5 is turned on, the date can be captured using another COBie form on a phone or computer and automatically begin the warranty management period. When Pump 5 is tested and the system commissioned, key parts of the system manuals can also be created in COBie format instead of a word processing file, ensuring that the key information is not pulled out of a book once the keys are turned over. Typically, we think about handover and physical completion as one and the same, but this is not the case. Once the owner moves into the building, they need answers about what equipment is where and how to maintain it immediately. Today, most facility managers begin their work with a duplicative, expensive, and unnecessary job site survey. With COBie formatted forms collecting information across all subcontractors, COBie information is available throughout the construction and can be delivered to the owner before they move in, not years after they need it. In my consulting practice, here are the kind of standard contract administration forms I turn into COBie Forms. Depending on the country you work in and the version of English spoken, your project might call these something slightly different. But one thing is sure, unless you do COBie as part of your contract administration process, you're leaving a lot of money on the table and potentially delaying physical completion. Let's look at one specific example. Here's a typical contractor transmittal form. Notice that every bit of this information must be manually prepared by the contractor's admin staff. When we turn this into a COBie form, we begin with having most of the information already filled out. For example, the top of the form here is automatically created from the COBie facility and contact information. In the example, the information from this real project has been redacted and shown in light gray boxes. The list of COBie types and associated documents are project specific. This part of the form links the specifications to the building information model using this COBie-based contract admin process. You notice here that this is not something new. COBie is just filling out your standard submittal form. You only need to fill out the yellow portion of the form starting with the product data. In the red highlighted section, the manufacturer is picked from a list, the model number is typed in, and the product data file name is provided. Once done, that information is available to everyone throughout the whole rest of the project. You don't have to hire an intern to stand behind a scanner for 6 months to make the O&M manual. You have the start of your O&M manual and the COBie file done before you've even installed the component. Additional forms for each step allow the data collected before to be updated as you proceed. COBie forms generated for each subcontractor standardize the information already captured on the project. As this is the general overview for COBie forms, let's take a minute and consider the reason why employees on your construction projects are half as productive as those in other industries. In my view, it's because other industries have integrated their supply chains and they work across multiple companies. With COBie forms, your team can begin the process without ever knowing that you're even doing COBie or integrating supply chains. People on the team simply think they're doing their job on a new project-specific set of contract admin forms. The macro benefits of COBie are pretty clear, but what about on the job site? The result of lean handover processes don't only benefit the owner. If COBie information is captured real-time as part of the contract admin process, you will have more time on tools and less time asking, where is Pump 5 and Room 3? Thanks for joining me today to talk about COBie Forms. If you would like to implement COBie Forms on your projects, contact me today at the email address above. I look forward to getting started on your lean handover journey.